I'm just gonna stay right here for a sec.
Yeah.
Just to give myself a plate with that shadow being cast.
Yeah.
Is that some kind of something? Did it kind of work?
Yeah, it kind of works.
All right.
Happy spooky season, everyone. In the spirit of Halloween, and because a friend of mine lit a fire under my ass to make something for a local theater screening, I made a short horror film again. My first one since, oh God, 2022. Yeah, I haven't been super prolific at this lately, huh? Anyway, I made a short film starring my buddy Russ in under 18 hours while my 2-year-old son slept in the next room. The film was based on an old concept I came up with during the pandemic, back when Melissa and I were making shorts together. I've talked about it a little bit on the channel before, and I even borrowed pieces of it for my films Flicker and The Loft. It was about a power outage, but back then I thought it was a little too ambitious to pull off solo. So naturally this time I thought, yeah, I can do this by myself now. Turns out it's not any easier 4 years later.
Cheat yourself a little to your right. Like, no, like don't open yourself, like just as if the counter extends a little bit further out.
As a pretty inexperienced cinematographer, shooting a film that's mostly in darkness, but with a lot of heavy, stylized blue lighting is not super easy, especially when you're also the director, the camera operator, the sound recordist, and secondary actor. But I did it, and it's fine, I guess. To help speed the process up, a couple days before Russ came by to shoot, I tested a few of the lighting setups with Melissa in our living room. I knew that I'd be setting a lot of this up myself since Russ is not a filmmaker, so testing these out and having a bit of a game plan definitely saved us time on the production day.
All of a sudden,
And find the flashlight and go.
We started around 7:30 p.m. because that's when both my sun and the sun went down and we needed to shoot in darkness. I shot the film on my Sony FX3 due to its low light capabilities with a Metabones adapter and a set of iron glass vintage Soviet prime lenses I borrowed from my friends at Black Lake, the same guys who helped me and my band make a few music videos last year. Shameless plug, go watch those and listen to the music. I wanted those lenses because they give this really distinct anamorphic style looking flare, and since I knew a flashlight beam would be hitting the lens a lot, I figured I might as well make it look cool. Also, one little tip, if you're gonna be one-man banding a scene where an actor is using a flashlight, wear white as the camera operator. It bounces a little extra light back off of you and onto your actor, kind of turning you into a bit of a bounce card.
Sound. Sound.
Lighting-wise, I did want to challenge myself and go stylistic instead of realistic, leaning into those very heavy moonlight blues and fake window lights. I set up a few aperture lights I could control with the Sidus Link app on my phone so I could kill the power mid-take while still operating the camera. Like the lamp back here isn't actually on, it's just an Aperture MC popped up inside, so I could control the intensity and kill it via Bluetooth. For this shot, I blasted an Amaran 300C with a softbox through the window from outside and used one of these small rig cinema flashlights with a window pane filter to fake moonlight on the wall. It's also how I'm casting this red light right here, which I can change to blue. Same thing here, it's the exact same flashlight, but I put what kind of looked like a blinds filter in it, so that's what's hitting Russ in the face. I also found tons of little uses for these small magnetic light wands I bought last year. They can stick to studs in the wall or mount on magic arms, so I could just like stick one to a tripod or a stud and get a quick backlight. And for the basement, I basically blasted a bunch of light up into the ceiling to expose everything and then brought all that exposure down in post-production to make it feel like a very dark room being illuminated only by Russ's flashlight.
Slam. 3, 2, 1.
What the fuck?
Unlike some of my older shorts with Melissa that had almost no dialogue, this one actually had lines Russ had to deliver. I had a shotgun mic on camera, but I didn't set up a boom this time. We were just too tight on time, and I had too much else to worry about with operating the camera, pulling focus, changing lenses, lighting, gaffing, not waking up my son in the other room. So I just strapped a Rode Wireless Pro to him and hoped that it didn't rub on his shirt too much. Luckily, it worked out great. Since the iron glass lenses are manual focus primes, I had to use some split screen tricks like this shot. I filmed myself first and then Russ so I could rack focus on him as he came down the stairs. Then in post, I composited the two shots together so it looked like we were both in frame simultaneously. Same technique for the monster emerging from behind the lamp. I shot it clean and empty with the light off and then used a small LED to fake the glow from his face as he comes out of the darkness. I just cropped over myself and then it looked like the light was only coming out of one side of the lamp. Speaking of the monster, let's talk about him. I bought this mask on Amazon for another short that never ended up happening. It looked a little cheap, but during the camera tests I found that putting a small aperture light inside the mask gave it this eerie bioluminescent glow. Suddenly it looked way creepier and less like a rubber mask, especially in the dark or from a distance. So I built the whole concept of the film around this demonic, electricity-connected entity. I wanted that Michael Myers, Jason Voorhees kind of vibe of like an unstoppable monster. So I used ChatGPT to create some concept art based on a photo of the mask. Once I found a design I liked, I hit up the thrift store for an outfit and gaff taped the lights inside.
So we're going to make ourselves completely fucking blind.
By ourselves, you mean yourself?
Yeah, or, well, me right now, until I need you to wear the mask.
Oh shit.
Take this, push it as far right as possible. I added these two so the mask doesn't get too, like, squishy on the face. All right, and then we light it up. And I need to separate for the nose a little bit. And now I can't see anything.
And it worked surprisingly well. We filmed from about 8 p.m. till 2 a.m. We shot out all the upstairs scenes while it was actually night and then crashed hard. Because reminder, I'm a parent now of a toddler. We got a few hours sleep and then woke up around 7:30 a.m. to shoot all the basement scenes, which were much easier to black out for nighttime. I just taped some black Bristol board over the windows and hung some sound blankets by the back door to block out the sun.
Blacking out windows on a budget. Now it's nighttime downstairs.
So we got started, shot for a couple hours, and then something unfortunate happened.
And camera's rolling, and action.
Fuck.
You all right? All right, reset.
Reset.
Did you break your toe?
I hope not.
Yep, he did. He broke his toe. Luckily, we were near the end and he is a trooper. We powered through the last few shots, including the monster reveal, where both of us had to be on camera. Possibly the sketchiest position I've left the camera. Now, because Russ had broken his toe, I personally felt a bit of a time crunch, so I wrapped him out and did a few more pickups and inserts that afternoon on my own, and then a few more with a bit of help from Melissa a few days later. We also recorded some Foley, and I had Russ do a few ADR lines at band practice later that week.
Where'd she put that fucking flashlight?
Do that one again, just give it beat.
Where'd she put that fucking flashlight?
As usual, I edited the film in Premiere, I graded it in Resolve, and I did VFX in After Effects or Premiere, depending on what was needed. Since we were working so fast on the day, I actually had to VFX out some photos of Melissa and I on the wall and replace them in post with pictures of Russ and his wife V. So I did that in After Effects as well. Then, as usual, I worked with my buddy Murray on music and sound mix, and he absolutely killed it. And we did this all in about 2 weeks because we decided to premiere the film at a local horror showcase hosted by my buddies at Black Lake, alongside a bunch of other amazing short horror films from other local filmmakers. And seeing it on the big screen made all the chaos and the broken toes worth it. And I think this gave me a bit of an itch that I needed to scratch because just a few days later, I also decided to shoot another short horror film, except this one I did entirely by myself, which also includes acting. That'll be out soon. In the meantime, please enjoy Power Outage and any of the other films on this channel, and happy Halloween.